MrMister is
detrimental
is an
music.
80s band. You know that? You know that, right?
What?
No,
I
Yeah,
did not know that.
MrMister. Yeah, it's an 80s band. Not bad, the music.
that's wicked.
Wait, did
That's
Mr.
an-
Mister know that?
No, he didn't know that.
Cool.
I feel like that's our next intro music, perhaps.
Yeah, there you go.
This
9:30.
creeping on me.
Yeah, it is 9:30. We'll see how many. I was just looking on Reddit to see how many people are saying they're gonna watch. There was at least a couple people. Oh, whatever. We'll see if they join. We got a couple watching. Yeah, so let's get started. I am John Winter Murphy, jwinterm, and this is a new show we're doing late night with our cryptocurrency Sunday nights. It's going to be the first Sunday of every month at 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time. And tonight we have a big crew with us. It's most of the former We Are Cryptocurrency podcasts from folks on Discord. We got Mr. Papi, MrMister, Ayman, and Mr. X, and also myself, and now MVEA is joining us. He's a subreddit mod and super into avatars and helps out with the trivia stuff as well. So this is like kind of a general interest show. We're trying a live stream format, and the way we're going to start the show is we're going to have a host predictions where everybody introduces themselves and makes a little prediction about what they think is going to be kind of the biggest story or item in the upcoming month, since we're doing this the first Sunday of every month. So I'll start. I am jwinterm, as I said, and I think that the big story coming up this month is maybe some kind of enforcement action from the SEC against, I don't even know. Like, I just feel like they're getting shut down so much that they're gonna like lash out and do something. So that's my prediction.
Gee,
I
that's
just
very
think it's
Hyper tantrum.
yeah. I was like just bear market day. So Mr. X, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Mr. X. I'm a local degenerate from the Discord, from r/cc, and analyst. I've been programming trading bots. I trade momentum. I've been hanging around in the Discord for quite a long time. My prediction, it's going to be a permanent prediction that the U.S. dollar is going to collapse, and
In the next month?
Yeah,
Every
That's
month.
Some good alpha.
Oh man.
Okay. That's even
And,
more bearish.
Yeah, I'll pass it on to Papi. You're next, boss.
Sure. Hey, and jwinterm, I was looking at the video. One thought, we should add names on there. So I'm Papi, formerly Mr. Papi, but there's 3 Misters on here, so I had to take one for the team and drop a Mister. My one spicy prediction for the next month, I think Bitcoin's going to tap 30K. How about that?
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
That'll work.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
How about you? Yeah. Amen. Let's go.
Amen.
Hey, yeah, what's up, guys? I'm Ayman, longtime former member of RCC Discord. Yeah, my prediction for this month is that we're gonna see a lot of action come after the ETH ETFs, ETH future ETFs, looking for a lot of like real world assets to come on chain after that hopefully gets approved. And I think that'll lead to a pretty big cycle with like OG DeFi 1.0 tokens and ecosystems.
I thought there was an ETH futures ETF that was just approved recently, right?
I think so. That's right.
I think there was
Yeah.
one just approved.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And MrMister?
Yeah, so I'm 0x MrMister. I've been building in DeFi for a minute and took a little break, but good to be back on with you folks. So let's see. My prediction is we're gonna see a lot of The SBF trial, the Sam Bankman-Fried FTX trial is underway now. So like all those documents are going to start becoming public, and we're going to start hearing about probably a lot of the shady deals he's been going on. And I think that's going to impact a lot of, we'll see. It might impact a lot of politicians. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, one of the top posts in the subreddit today was like just like a list of all the politicians that he donated to, and it's like hundreds
Yes.
of rows long. Like it's a very long list of people. Cool. And MVEA.
Can we cue that? Can we cue that graphic there? No, sorry. Sorry, MJ.
G'day, everybody. Look, this is MVEA. I'm a long-time Redditor, moderator of many subs now, and I'm located in Australia. And I know people are wondering what I look like, but I'm gonna stay anon for now because I'm quite high profile where I am. In any case, look, my prediction is that I think that we are really gonna see the start of the bull market cycle. So I'm with Papi actually. I think as we approach the Bitcoin halving, I know that a lot of people have said that the past does not automatically predict the future, but the crypto market at a macro level, I think it does have repeated patterns that are consistent. And I think what's exciting is that this time around, when it's not an if, it's a when we get into the bull market, I think we will see more adoption by the public, but also by financial institutions. And it's going to be exciting for developments like the Reddit community points, like Moons, Bricks, and Reddit NFTs, because those things have never been in the bull market before. So I am quite optimistic as to how companies like Reddit and other social media platforms continue to integrate Web3, because I think we will see mass adoption at that point.
All right. Well, we're 7 minutes in, and we do want to, like, with this new show, try and keep it a little snappier, tighter. And so we want to get right into it and talk about our first kind of big topic for the show. Is going to be one of the Three Arrows Capital founders, Suzu, was arrested in Singapore the other day. And does somebody have like some background? Like, can they give us a rundown real quick?
Sun Tzu, did you say?
Because he was, I mean, they were a hedge fund. Three Arrows Capital was a hedge fund that was kind of somehow involved in between Digital Currency Group, which is the GBTC Trust organization, and Terra Luna, as well as FTX was in there somewhere as well. Like, does anybody have a kind of quick synopsis on where Three Arrows Capital stood in that mix and why Suzu's getting arrested?
I mean, I think the 5-second thing is like over leveraged into too many pieces of the ecosystem, and it all went to shit.
They were involved in the Terra Luna crash, weren't they? I mean, they were invested.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They had, I think, over like $3.54 billion AUM, and they lost like $3 billion of that basically overnight during Terra Luna. I don't know why they were so big into Luna and that entire ecosystem, but I guess they were close with Do Kwon and the other ring of scammers. So
yeah, so I mean, it says like technically he was 10AO, the liquidation firm in charge of liquidating Three Arrow Capital's assets, say they received a committal order against him after he failed to comply with the court order that compelled him to cooperate with this liquidation process, and that resulted in the Singapore police arresting him, and he can be held in prison for 4 months. And they have an order for the co-founder, Kyle Davies, his kind of partner in crime, alleged crime, I guess. So
who's still at large.
Yeah, where is that guy?
Yeah, Dubai, maybe, supposedly, right? So it's not really clear even what exactly the charges are, except that he's like not cooperating with the liquidation of his former hedge fund.
Well, did you hear the funniest part is the new exchange that they launched this past year? I don't know if you guys were tracking that, OPNX.
Yeah.
So you can use your bankruptcy claims as collateral, which in this market, there's a lot of people like that, but it's also kind of ironic because they lost about $3 billion, as Ayman said.
The audacity.
Right. Yeah, they had started like a new trading company that allowed people to sell. I guess it was liquidation, like claims against FTX that people were trading.
That was like the initial like offering, yeah.
And then they expanded from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. That's kind of, it's still a little bit in limbo, but that's kind of the big story. He was just arrested last Friday. And then so our next big story is there was just the resolution of this about 24 hours ago, I guess, where it looked like the U.S. government was about to shut down. And there's also been SEC hearings again. I saw Tom Emmer chastising Gary Gensler. Once again, it feels like that's like a weekly event in Congress for the last.
A lot of good sound bites from those, though.
But yeah, I guess does anyone have thoughts on like where things are going with respect to the U.S. government and their kind of influence on macro or macro in general?
So maybe someone smarter than me on macro, and I know we could really go down this rabbit hole. So we got to be careful not to go too deep. But the credit rating for the U.S. That's kind of my concern. The more dysfunctional we continue to be, and I say we, I guess all but one of us are Americans here. The more dysfunctional we continue to be, the more that's going to impact us from a credit rating perspective, from an international, diplomatic perspective. U.S. is only powerful because other governments are willing to put up with our shenanigans, buy our debt, fund our wars. At some point that gravy train, I think, is going to stop. And I don't know. I don't want to be here when it happens. So maybe Mr. X's prediction, the dollar collapses within 29 days.
I mean, maybe it's a scramble to get a U.S. dollar CBDC in place before they want to do any like solid regulations with the SEC about cryptocurrency. I don't know. That's just wild speculation. But
yeah. Well, as far as the shutdown is concerned specifically, I think from a macro level, like I totally agree with Pap on the implications of credit rating. But I think that's just like a symptom of the out of control deficit spending that's going on, right? And I think that's also going to have implications because I think on a macro level, and I hate to say this because I know that it makes Americans sound like douchebags, but we kind of drive the macro actually worldwide, right? So when we don't have our shit together, that's not a good look just on all markets. I mean, just look at rates, right? Everybody's following rates. They're mirroring the Fed's moves at this point. And so I think it's all very intertwined, and I think there's a lot of potential for things to break. But that said, like, I do think just kind of like dovetailing into the whole SEC, ETF kind of stuff, I think there is going to be a bit more time before shit hits the fan. There's a couple more things the feds can do, right, in terms of just liquidity provisioning. So we'll see. But I do worry. I've been worried for like fucking 5 years, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, can we say that? Can we say fucking?
It's too late now, isn't it?
It's too late now.
I guess going forward, like, let's try and keep it a little family friendly. But yeah, I guess my only kind of thoughts are, I think cryptocurrency is going to continue to be a bigger and bigger part of the upcoming election cycle in the U.S. And I think it's going to continue to become more and more of a partisan issue, it looks like, which sucks. Like, I think 5 years ago, even maybe 3 years ago, I still felt like cryptocurrency was like one of those weird things that wasn't really like a polarized issue in the United States. And I think that's going away. And so I think FTX and of course, like whatever the decision is with like there's ETF decisions going back to like 2015. It's just continual delay, deny, like ongoing forever. So I mean, that's going to continue. But it looks like, now it's BlackRock. So we'll see what happens with BlackRock, and Gensler is like
Is anyone else
villain
rooting
now.
for BlackRock? I'm kind of rooting for BlackRock. I don't know.
Rooting for BlackRock. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
yeah.
Rooting for institutional money that's like somebody said like $30 trillion of institutional money could potentially, and that's including like all the clients that they carry and stuff. Like people will be able to they're going to implement it into their own trading platform on there.
All other considerations aside, please, BlackRock, pump my bags.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the other cool thing about this cycle, this bear market, that we didn't see as much in the past is Congress people talking, congressmen, congresswomen talking about crypto, a lot of them coming out in support of it, presidential candidates making it a part of their platform, several of them, both parties making it a part of their platform. This is what progress looks like. That's exciting.
Yeah, but is it going to be CBDCs where like there was something they implemented into the digital yen where your money expires?
Yeah, to try and force people to spend.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so is it that they're embracing cryptocurrency, but are they embracing like making Bitcoin legal tender, or are they going to just make their own rules?
I see it becoming more partisan, and that's not totally true because there's still people like the governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, who is like he was at ETH Denver. Like, there's certainly Democratic politicians who are supporters and into it, but to me, it seems like there's like Elizabeth Warren out there talking about she has an army of people who are going to destroy crypto, right? Like she's like one of the top people in the Senate. So anyway, we're not going to take too long. Let's keep moving. We're going to talk about everyone's favorite clown real quick. Does anyone have thoughts on?
I didn't even know he got arrested until today. I didn't even realize that he got
arrested. I saw that go
down
live.
You need to watch the clips on Twitter, bro. It's the funniest thing that's happened on CT.
It's crazy. It's so crazy.
What was he streaming about?
He was trying to steal his Lambo back.
All right. Hopefully this is like peak bear market. Like this marks the end of the bear market. Is like peak bear market stupidity, absurdity, right? It's absurd. That shit. So moving on. So we're gonna do the top posts of the month. This is like looking back, just seeing what led in the subreddit, and it's weird. There was actually a few posts about the Winklevi brothers, and there's a OneCoin post, like scammers. Like honestly, what this looks like to me is like there's not a lot of news, and it's like old stuff's bubbling up to the top for the most part. It is kind of interesting.
What's up with the Winklevoss guys? Like there was that thing about they like emergency ejected, like what was it, 250 mil?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but there's been a lot of drama with them between them and Barry Silbert, good old Silbert at DCG. Yeah, they've been in the news a lot, so I guess they're people capitalizing on that to try and. Oh, that's it right there. Secretly withdrew $280 million. Yeah, that looks, I don't know the details on that, but that certainly looks bad with all of their people getting their money locked up in Gemini from their Earn program.
Just wait till the SBF trial gets really underway, man, and we see some Winklevoss SBF ties. Like that's gonna be interesting,
That would be
I mean, if we really want to make ties between like the last bull market and this bull market, Arthur Hayes was charged in 2020, right before the 2020 bull run, and now we got Do Kwon, SBF, Shuzu.
Maybe it's gonna be one more
next. CZ.
Oh,
True. He could be the last one. I feel like one of the big names that kind of just got like forgotten in all of this stuff is Trubaku. I don't know. I don't know why people
Oh,
stopped
yeah.
talking about him. Like he kind of just like after FTX collapse, he kind of just disappeared off the map, and it's like
I
no one
mean, I'm sure
remembers
that
his
was
name.
intentional on his part, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
I have no
like,
doubt that it was
I'm sure
intentional on
that,
his
yeah.
part, but it's kind of impressive because not only
Yeah.
did like he disappear, like his entire presence kind of evaporated overnight, and everyone just forgot that he was basically the head of Alameda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His exit was very well timed. Like he got out months ahead of time. So it's
Yeah,
you got to wonder: is he cooperating?
I know,
Is
yeah,
there
because
anything going
otherwise
on?
it still might come back and bite him in the ass, I
I
think,
mean
honestly.
we're gonna find out, right? The trial is it's coming closer and closer, so we'll see what evidence they have, what evidence they don't have, and I don't know.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Can't
Yeah.
wait for the Netflix special.
for
Is it going
sure.
to be Netflix or Amazon? What's your bet? I say Amazon.
Yeah, I say Amazon. Yeah.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting that that bottom one, the North Korean hackers, are stolen $250 million over the last 3 months, which is like a few $1,000,000 every day. That's kind of like, and it's like, it sounds like a lot, but it's got to be like a drop in the bucket because nobody hears about it. You don't care about it, right? But that's a decent
I
amount of
think
money going to.
when you
Where are
look
they
at people
getting
like
them from?
when you look at Congress being concerned about money laundering and other things in crypto, this is the one legitimate thing that I would understand them being concerned
Legitimate.
about.
I wouldn't even call it legitimate, but I understand what you're saying. That I do
Yeah.
think that this kind of stuff is going to be where you see Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren trying to make an issue out of it going into 2024. Like I
Yeah, they'll
definitely
try and
see
make
that
an issue
coming.
out of everything, though. It's not like,
Of course, yeah, but I mean, this
yeah,
is it
Yeah.
seems to be that's where it's going for sure.
yeah.
Wait, Elizabeth Warren is still alive?
Yes.
You know, like the
That was
best buy
Feinstein.
date
That was
on the
Feinstein.
can is almost here. It's the expiry date is coming
Feinstein.
closer and closer. A few more months left.
Yeah, so now we're going to get into some Reddit updates, and there was a Reddit site-wide update, which is kind of interesting. And it's a little bit nebulous still, but there was a post about Reddit rolling out some new rules about inactive moderators, which has always been this weird. Like Reddit doesn't disclose anything about their voting algorithm or what posts get removed necessarily, so they're kind of not public about things in general. But in general, like mods have had a lot of control over their subreddits, almost like complete control. And if it got to the point where it was out of like Reddit didn't like what was happening, they would just suspend the whole subreddit. And if there was the case where somebody wanted a subreddit and the person who was in charge of it hadn't used it in a long time, they would remove those people at that person's request, which is like I became the top moderator of our cryptocurrency because one of the other mods had requested a couple inactive people above me get removed. But they were like never there for months. They never did anything. But now they're starting to like get more aggressive, and there's been talk from admins about voting, like letting people vote out moderators in subreddits. So there's like Reddit definitely seems to be experimenting with lots of new stuff, like with Reddit community points, like moons. So I don't know, MVEA, do you have thoughts on this topic in particular?
Yeah, I think part of it is out of the drama from the Wall Street Bets subreddit. People know that the history there. I mean, they're making a movie actually. So all this talk about Reddit, all this talk about Netflix and Amazon. I'm waiting for the crypto movies to come out. Actually, SBF movie to come out. It'll happen. But yeah, so with Wall Street Bets, the original founder of that sub sued Reddit because he wanted to use the trademarks and so I think Reddit's struggling with who actually owns the community. Is it? And ultimately they will argue that it doesn't matter. Even with our cryptocurrency, ultimately Reddit owns everything, and they have ultimate control. So they do want to make sure that they have some element of control, even though they're giving the illusion of control to the community. through voting and things. That's my view.
Yeah. So well, I mean, it's kind of moons are a little bit of a weird thing. Like they're out there with bricks and a little donuts, kind of, right? Where is that something Reddit's going to spread wider? And I think they've kind of been in limbo because of the unclear legal status of tokens in the United States to a large degree. And so hopefully that will start to clear up within the next year or so, and we'll see them adopt it more. But who knows? Some other like more subreddit specific stuff is it is Moon Week right now, and there's some votes going on in the sticky post. You can vote to double the price of AMAs. Currently, there's a formula, and this is basically a vote to just double that formula. And it's pretty cheap to do an AMA. I think you have to burn about $150 or $200 worth of moons right now, and you get your post stickied at the top of the subreddit for 24 hours, where you'll probably get about 50,000 unique viewers who click on your post, which, if you know about like cost per impression or anything, that's I think a pretty good value, maybe the best value in the whole internet advertising world, at least cryptocurrency space. So people feel like it's too good of a value and they want to double the price. And then there's another one, but we have a formula actually that I came up with that determines like how many Bitcoin posts and how many Ethereum posts and how many, you know, X coin posts are allowed on the front page, and somebody's got a proposal to modify that. So I don't really have. Do you have any other updates about RCP or Moon stuff, MVEA?
Well, not specifically. I think, as you say, we're waiting to see what Reddit is going to do. They had an opportunity when they announced the new gold, Reddit Gold, to actually use RCPs, but they've actually avoided doing that. So I think it remains to be seen what.
Yeah, and I think I really think maybe a big part of that is that there's just this unclear, you know, like Gary Gensler's going after everybody out here, and
yeah, and he keeps losing too.
Well, that's becoming more clear by the day, but that's
Grayscale just won.
Right. Well,
finally.
Yeah, I mean,
Ripple won.
You don't want to be like sticking your nose out when Gary Gensler is going around trying to punch people in the nose, right? I mean, so.
He's got no follow through though. That's fine.
We'll see. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that in the next year or so. But that is 27 minutes. So we were kind of right on time, which is great. And I will like ask anyone have any like closing thoughts.
Buy low, sell high.
Buy low,
Good advice.
No, I just want to say, guys, like like the bull run, like the predictions bull run kicking off, you know, later this quarter, 30K price prediction from Pap. I feel like we didn't celebrate 28K, guys. We're back at 20K. I don't remember what the price was when we last.
Who knows why it just jumped up
together.
3%. Ow.
Right.
Yeah, probably it was closer to 20K because I think it was around the end of last year.
Well, we did it. We did it, guys. We did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
I know, up 50% a year. And people are like, still feels like a bear market terribly, right? But it's like we're 50%, like it's up. You know, that's like 50% a year. Like, where else are you getting 50% a year, right? Not too good.
Where else are you getting down 80% a year too?
Also, yeah, keep it spicy, keeps it interesting. Right?
No, we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on, and thanks everybody for listening. And we're gonna try and do this the first Sunday. There is no try. Wait, we're gonna do this the first Sunday of every month. So we'll see you first Sunday of November. Have a good night, everybody, and see you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
Good stream.